Hello there, and welcome back to another arithmetic lesson. It's Mr. Doyle here, and we're going on. Today we're going to be talking about division with decimals. But before we do that, I want to show you a few numbers. It is imperative that you understand this concept or you won't be able to do division with decimals. So, just to make sure you understand, you see this decimal? This is a decimal point. Everything on this side is part of a number. Everything on this side is a whole number, right? So 0.21, we could say 10th, 100th, 21 hundredths, or 0.21. If it was money, it'd be 21 cents. Part of a dollar, but not a whole dollar, right? If it was something else, it would be part of, all right? Same is true with, let's go to this one here, 0.011 or 11 thousandth, right? 10th, 100th, thousandths, right? 11 thousandths. This is part of a number, but not a whole number. Something really important to think about with this. However, let's look at the next one. 2.3. Now, 2.3 is part of a number, isn't it? It is indeed, this part anyway. It has, it's actually a mixed number, isn't it? There's a whole number on this side with a decimal point and then part of a number on the other side. So it's 2 3/10, or 2.3. That's really important that you understand that this is part of a number and that is a whole number, because we're going to actually be moving decimals around when we divide, and understand that when we estimate, understanding whole numbers and parts of a number. And again, decimals and fractions are just other ways of writing the same sort of thing. So this one, of course, will be 2 3/10, or 2.3. When we divide and write our division box, though, we want everything written as a decimal. So sometimes it might be written as a fraction. You'll have to think of the decimal equivalent to figure it out, and then divide. So let me show you a piece of paper that I have, and let's look there right now. Now, like I said, here's my piece of paper, and I really hope you can see it with the pencil. And sometimes with the lighting, there may be a bit of a glare, and I want to make sure you can see. I think I can see that all right. Long division and decimals is what we're looking at today. Oh, look at this big problem. How can we figure out how to do this? The very first thing you need to do is, if there are decimals, and there are, let's take a look at those. And there's something very special that we do with those decimals. First, look at the divisor. You see the decimal there? We want to move it over and make it a whole number. Okay, so we're going to move it over. We're going to go like this. And I moved my decimal point over. So now it's the number 987. Now, if I move it over one place on this side, where our divisor is, we need to do the same thing in here. All right, inside our box, dividend, move it over one place. So move it over one place here, move it over one place here. Once we move it over one place, I'm going to immediately go straight up in my answer where my quotient is, and I'm going to put my decimal point right there, so that when I start putting numbers here in my quotient, the decimal point will be in the correct place. See that? Then I divide. So again, we moved it here, we move it over one here, we bring it up. Now, it might be you have to move it two places to get it, but you bring it all the way over, right next to our division box, okay? So if the decimal point had been here, we would have moved it over 2 or 3 places. However many we need to move it, and we move it that many over in our dividend as well. In this case, we only had to move it over 1 place in order to make it a whole number, meaning nothing, no decimal point where our whole numbers are. All right. The decimal point is always all the way to the right whenever it's a whole number. Now we divide 987 into this big number. Now, 9 doesn't go into 4, does it? 9 doesn't go into 40. Or 987 doesn't go into 40, I should say. 987 doesn't go into 400, it's bigger. So we have to go our 987 all the way into what we might call 4007. That's what we're thinking about, right? Well, those are big numbers, aren't they? So here's the trick. Remember this. It will really help you out and make it simpler. A lot of students look at this and they just say they can't even get started with their division problem, and they get frustrated because of the big numbers. So forget about the big numbers. Just look at the first number. See 9? And then look at the first 2 numbers here, 40. That's the simplest way. In our divisor, look at the first number. In our dividend, look at the first 2 numbers. First 2 numbers. First number, first 2 numbers. And do that. Can 9 go into 40? How many times? 9 times what is close to 40? Well, we know that 9 times 4 is 36. Is 36 close to 40? Yes. So let's try 4. But where's our 4 going to go? Like we said, we're dividing into 4007, right? So our 4 goes here. See? Let's see if it works out. Again, this is estimating, so it may not always be perfect, but let's try it and see. Okay? 4 times 7, 28. We brought our 8 and we carry our 2. 4 times 8, 32, 34. We used that one, so I crossed it out. 4 times 9, 36, right? Plus our 3, 39. Ooh, you see how that's getting close? Subtract. We can't subtract here, so we have to borrow. We can't borrow from him, so we go next door. Still can't. Go next door again. 3. Now he gets a 10, but he needs 1. So that makes 9, 10. He needs 1, so another 9. 17. 17 minus 8. 9 plus 8. I always think of the addition opposite. 9 plus 8 equals 17, right? 9 minus 4, 5, because 5 plus 4 equals 9. 9 minus 9, 0. And 3 minus 3, 0. Or you can just leave them blank. It's 59, isn't it? Compare. Works. Bring down our 2. Now, 592 is what we've got now. And 987. Can 987 go into 592? I've had children confused on this too. I don't know. It doesn't go in there. 987 can't go in. It's too big, right? Well, then the answer is just what? 0. So it goes into 592 0 times. It can't go, so it's 0. And then just multiply. 0 times 987. We know all of those are going to be zeros, so we could just put 0, or we can just fill in zeros, however you want to do it. Draw your line. We know what we're going to get, the same number, right? 592 when we subtract to zeros. Compare is less. Bring down the next number. Always bring it all the way down. And draw the arrow. Always draw the arrow. Now we have 5,922, don't we? And 980, again, big numbers. Oh, and at this point, a child gets confused again, right? Because the numbers are big. But don't let that bother you. Remember what we said before? Look at the first number. Look at the first two numbers. 9 into 59 is easier to think about, isn't it? 9 times what is close to 59? Well, go through your 9 times tables in your head. You know, 9 times 5, 9 times 6, 9 times 7. 9 times 6 is 54. Ooh, we're getting close to 59, right? 9 times 6 is 54, isn't it? 9 times 7 would be 63, so let's try 6. And it's a great way to estimate, isn't it? 6 times your 7's 42, carry the 4. 6 times 8, 48, plus our 4, 52. Cross that out. Put the 2 there and carry the 5 up here. 6 times 9, we said was 54, plus 5. 6 times 9 was 54, plus our 5 is what? We said 9 times 6 is 54. 59, looky there. Isn't that amazing? We get the same number. If we get the same number, probably doing it right. That might not always be true 100%, but we're probably really on track if it's coming out so nicely. And look, 0. So our answer that we'll write in the blank on our test is 4.06. These are just numbers, it's not money. Sometimes it might be money. And then we need a dollar sign, but these are just numbers with decimals. I do hope that this helped you. I hope that you were able to learn something new today. Go ahead and click like, subscribe to this, and you won't want to miss another video. And hopefully this trick, especially the part about just looking at the 1 number and 2 numbers, will help you with working with large numbers. And remembering at the very beginning, don't forget to move your decimal point over however many places. And however many you move here, move that many here. You take care, and remember, learn something new every day.